Grappling dummies. Is it worth you getting a grappling dummy for MMA? Is it a waste of money? Will you actually bother using the grappling dummy, or will it just get pushed to one side and never used again? Well, in this video I'm going to give my opinions all about the grappling dummies. But straight off the bat I can tell you I do think it's worth it. I've got one grappling dummy. And two grappling dummies, what I use very often. And a kid's grappling dummy. Right, I'll start off by saying, when I was training, I never used to use them. I never was in a gym where they had one until I opened up my own little personal training studio and I decided to get myself one. Reason why I decided to get myself one, because when I was teaching in my gym, if I'm doing one-to-ones with someone and I'm trying to show them a submission move, it's quite awkward to do. So what I was doing, I would do the submission move on them so they had a feel for how it was done. Then I'd do it on a grappling dummy so they could see how it was done. Then I would let them do it on a grappling dummy so I could make sure they're doing it right. Then I'd let them do the submission move on me so obviously I could feel if it was being done right. And I found this extremely helpful. Obviously as well for kids classes, I would demonstrate on the grappling dummy because it's easier to do that on the small kid. Then I'd let them play with a kid grappling dummy or practice it on each other so I could see and correct if they're doing it right or wrong. So that's why I originally got a grappling dummy, but then I ended up finding out I was falling in love with it with my training and using it a lot more than what I thought I would. I'll be honest with you, I didn't think I would use the grappling dummies as much as I did until I actually got one. Now, the link's in the description below for these grappling dummies where I got these from. And they're not as expensive as they once were. I think you can pay a lot for grappling dummies, but it's like punch bags. You can pay a lot of money for a punch bag, or you can get a punch bag a bit cheaper, but it still does the job. You still get to punch it and beat it up. Now, the reason why I think I use the grappling dummies so much, now, I will say they're not for everyone, but another reason why I use them so much, other than to demonstrate on and teach, so if you own your own gym, straight away I'll say you definitely need to get one. Get a grappling dummy in the gym if you own your own gym. But like I said before, I would watch YouTube videos about different grappling techniques, or I'd come across them on Instagram, different grappling techniques, and I'd end up wanting to practice it on someone, and sometimes I wouldn't have a partner. So I found myself, straight away I could go to the grappling dummy. Now, not all techniques, admittedly, you could do on a grappling dummy, but you could definitely get a feel for them and sort of practice it, and you can think, would that work? Does it feel right? So you can drill on the grappling dummy. Like I said, sometimes I'd see us move and I'd think, oh, I've got to try that. So then I could pull the grappling dummy out and try it on the grappling dummy. Now, with that being said, like I was saying, there's nothing better than training with a partner, obviously. If you're training with a partner, drilling with a partner, they could tell you, if the submission move's hurting, if they're going to tap out, so you know if you've got it on right or wrong, they can practice it on you, because sometimes it's good to get a feel for how the submission works on you, and then that way you can understand it a little bit more, how to do it. So in that respect, yeah, I'm not saying grappling dummies are going to be as good as a partner. They're never going to be as good as a partner. The only one tiny little benefit I'd say, which what you could do on a grappling dummy, what you can't do on a partner, is go a lot rougher. Obviously you can go rougher on partners and that, but you'll end up losing sparring grappling partners because obviously you're being too rough on them. But on a grappling dummy, for a workout, you could drill hard and rough on a grappling dummy for practice. Now that brings me into one of my last reasons why I really like the grappling dummies, is exactly for that. I found I use it in my workouts all the time. If I'm having a workout, I nearly always get the grappling dummy out. You could put it in some sort of circuit. Like I said, you could drill on it. You could go a lot rougher on it. You could practice slams on them. I think the second one I showed you, the second grappling dummy, the standing up one, they're obviously good because they're more of a judo grappling dummy, so they're good with slams. If you've just got padded flooring like normal MMA mats, certain slams you could do, you have to be a bit more careful with your partner. Obviously with a grappling dummy, you can really go into it and slam it properly how you want to. So again, that's a massive benefit which you can't necessarily do with a partner. Now, all this being said, you've got to have the motivation to be able to train with a grappling dummy. Not everyone's motivated, so admittedly, although I think they're worth their money, and like I said, I've got 2 of them and I'd use them a lot, certain people might not use them a lot. Now, the question you've got to ask yourself for would you use them or not is, how often do you train by yourself? Do you use much equipment when you train at home? If you do, then a grappling dummy, like I said, could be worth it. Even if it's to practice the drilling, even if it's to practice a workout, doing a ground and pound on it, or if you see a YouTube video, then you can practice what you've seen in the YouTube video on the grappling dummy. Now, if you would buy yourself a punch bag and you use that punch bag regularly, I would definitely say you would use a grappling dummy regularly. That's what you've got to ask yourself. If you use a punch bag regularly for your workouts, for MMA, then why wouldn't you use your grappling dummy regularly for a workout for MMA? Now, maybe if you've got a grappling dummy but you're sort of struggling to use it, or struggling to get the motivation to use it, you just got to persist with it for a little bit until you get sort of used to using it. I mean, like I said, I've never really had to do that. Straight away I fell in love with them. I found them awesome. Like, I love practicing submission moves with them. Always putting them in the circuits, what I do with clients or with myself. One of my favourite ones, I do a 5-minute round. I do 30 seconds on the punch bag, and then 30 seconds on a grappling dummy, do a ground and pound. Then 30 seconds on the punch bag, and I'll just switch it up for the full 5 minutes. It's a brilliant workout. It's very hard because you're up and down. So again, that's another thing you could do. You could practice your drills. So I definitely think they're worth their money, worth their weight in gold in that sense. But like I said, if you've got a punch bag at home and you don't use it, you're not going to use a grappling dummy. If you've got a punch bag at home and you use it regularly, the chances are, I think you will end up using a grappling dummy. So that's what you've got to ask yourself. If you're looking to get one, if you're looking to purchase one, then you've got to sort of ask yourself, how committed are you to MMA? Are you doing it to fight? Are you really deadly serious and dedicated? And if you are, then a grappling dummy will help insist with your training. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, oh, you've got to get a grappling dummy, you're going to be a world champion. Of course, it don't work like that. But it will definitely help assist with your training. It helps for visualising, it helps us practice things going over in your head, and it's also a great, awesome workout. Now, if you want some workouts or you want to know how to stuff a grappling dummy, then click the link over here to this playlist, and I've got all different videos in this playlist to do with grappling dummies, how to stuff them, different workouts you could do with them, different drills, and also a couple of little shorts in there of me working out with the grappling dummies. Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all soon.